Today, let me share with you 28 different property business tasks, many of which are really important that you could be working on during the current lockdown. Hi, my name is Tony Law from Your First Four Houses, and my channel is all about helping you replace a job-based income with just a handful of investment properties. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon so that you don't miss out on any of the free content that I give you each and every week. So I'm going to race through 28 property business tasks that you could genuinely be working on during this whole lockdown. And I honestly think many of these are really important. So point number one, now is a fantastic time to sit down and finally work on your business plan. We should all have them if we're running property businesses. Now you've got the time to do it. What about putting together a mini mastermind group? This might be 4, 5, 6 different people, all of whom are property focused, and you maybe get on a Zoom call once a week, maybe every fortnight, but ideally once a week, and support each other moving forwards. Zoom offers a free package for any conversations up to 40 minutes, and can I suggest 40 minutes is more than enough time. What about brainstorming 3 ways to fund your next deal? Is now a great time to call estate agents? Absolutely it is. These agents are going to be sitting around. They won't be busy. They're obviously desperate for business, and I obviously accept that there are huge limitations on what you can do here. But now is a great time to call agents, maybe build that rapport, and maybe find out if there are any empty properties where perhaps you could do a virtual viewing. What about building out 3 new lead generation strategies? This was a core of how I built my portfolio. I put in place different lead generation strategies. You could be doing the same now. Point number 6, how about interviewing a new accountant or a new solicitor? I'm going to be really honest and say tax is definitely not my strong point, but I have a good accountant and I have 2 really good solicitors. Maybe now is the time for you to interview new people for your power team. Check your credit rating. If you've got a fantastic credit rating, that's absolutely brilliant. But if you check your credit rating, and I'll put a link in the description box below as to how you can do that, and it's not brilliant, maybe you can kind of chip away at that a little bit and find out if there's an issue that you can maybe resolve. Moving on to, what about building up your social media presence? Social media is a fantastic tool in a business sense to actually connect with potential sources, connect with potential investors in your next deal, connect with people who are maybe going to be able to supply you with a deal because maybe they themselves are struggling to sell. And the best way to do that is to build your social media presence. What about putting together a default diary? I've done a whole video on this, you've probably seen it, but if you haven't set up a default diary, now is really the time to do it, even though you may be working from home. It's one of the most powerful tools that I've ever done. Streamline all of your outgoings. Sit down, download 3 months worth of bank statements, go through them line by line by line, and go through and work out which expenditures are going out that really shouldn't be going out. What about putting together your own YouTube channel? If you haven't already done this, obviously I can tell you from my own limited experience, it's an incredibly powerful thing to do for a whole number of different reasons, and to be honest, that's probably worth me doing a video on in its own right. How about updating your spare room advert? Look at other advertisers on spare rooms, see what they're doing, maybe look at yours in comparison to theirs, and maybe your spare room advert is coming up wanting. What about considering some additional training? Now, I'm not pushing any of my own stuff here, but there's loads of ways that you can actually go out there and get some additional training, maybe on an area of weakness for you. Now's the time to do it. You should be building out your LinkedIn profile and obviously connecting with people on LinkedIn. This is a fantastic way to find potential investors in your business. What about reaching out to tenants, any business partners that you may have currently or want to have, maybe friends, or perish the thought, reaching out to family members. You've got the time, you've got a phone in your hand, start making some phone calls and reaching out to people. Update your website if you have one. If you don't have one, now's the time to put one together, regardless of what aspect of property that you're investing in. I think you should be updating your will. If you haven't got a will, for goodness sake, go out and do it. You don't need to actually go and see a solicitor to do this. You can do it all online. Now is the time to update your will or put one together if you don't have one. And along a similar line, can I encourage you to put together, if you're living with a partner, a financial sheet, as I call it. Now, what I have on my financial sheet is all the various bits of information that wouldn't necessarily be in the will, but if something was to happen to me, I can kind of pass that, or it would be passed on to my wife. And obviously that gives her all of the information she needs to be able to make some really good decisions, including my opinions on a certain few bits and pieces. It takes a bit of time to put one of these together, but once you've done it once, obviously you can just update it on a regular basis. Connect with property sources. Obviously the whole property market has currently gone like that. Everything's just stalled. Now is the time to connect with good property sources rather, so that when the market does bounce back, or ideally now, maybe there are deals out there now that you could do that were kind of already being in the pipeline before the whole current lockdown. Connect with property sources. Have you got your business card sorted out yet? I know I'm always banging this drum, and I know that may sound really archaic, and I know that we can't network. That's absolutely fine. Still to put your business cards together now. Work on them now, because it won't be long before we can all be getting out there and networking again. And at that point you'll go, I should have put my business cards together. So do them now. Can I encourage you to calculate the return on the investment on 10 properties? Now, if you've not done return on investment calculations before, I've done a whole video on it that will talk you through exactly how to do that. But now is a great time to actually practice calculating the return on the investment, regardless of the type of property that you're actually looking or the strategy that you're following. Just practice this. No one ever does. Nobody ever puts aside the time to actually practice. Now you've got the time. Point number 22, what about researching your investment area in a lot more depth? Now you can do so much research, and I have done videos on this already, that will actually give you so much information about different areas. Well, how about researching your investment area, but then maybe looking around your investment area and seeing if there's other potential there? Have you got an email signature? This is my point number 23. An email signature is that thing that you'll often see at the bottom of better looking emails. They're really easy to do. They're really cheap to do. I would suggest you need one. What about outsourcing something? Now, I don't mind what you outsource. There's a whole world of different things that you could actually focus in on here. But work out one thing that you could outsource and give it a try. Let's say you throw 50 quid at it to go and gather a load of addresses or go and research a little area. Just work out what you want to do and have a go at outsourcing it. If you do it, it will blow your mind at how powerful this could be as a tool. Point number 25, what about sending out some landlord letters? Now, I did mention this in my video last week, and I've had some people come back to me on what exactly that actually means. But in essence, I think most people who are watching this are going to know what that means. You're going to be sending out letters directly to landlords and asking if they'd be interested in doing some kind of a deal directly with you. Point number 6, what about practicing doing due diligence on a number of different properties? Practicing, this is not just calculating return on investment, this is actually looking and working out what a number of different properties look like, whether it would actually stack up as a deal for you. Point number 27, and we're nearly there, what about remortgaging your portfolio? Again, I mentioned this already, and obviously I can't give you any financial advice here, but can I point out what we all know? And that is that obviously interest rates are as low as they're going to go. You have the potential now to remortgage, get a cracking deal that you can fix in place for many, many years moving forwards. Obviously potentially meaning that you can increase the cash flow from that property or properties, and potentially also put a bit more money out, ready to actually do some deals as we can get out there and start looking at properties. And point number 28, and the most important of all, please keep safe. Obviously, you all know about the importance of keeping safe in terms of the current government guidelines. If you're not aware, I'll put a link in the description box below. But as I say, most important point on this list, please keep safe. If you haven't already watched it, maybe check out this video that I did for you last week. In here I give you my main core tips on kind of getting through the whole coronavirus situation. And if I can be of any help to you during these very strange and weird times, especially if you live local to me, by all means just reach out and I'll be more than happy to help if I can.